In most games, a noob is seen as someone who is in some sort of starter position, who usually has no idea how to use any of the 104 keys on their keyboard. In many games like Roblox, they may look like this: someone who has spent a total of $0 on the game, or any cosmetics to differentiate them from an army of people who look just like them. There is nothing inherently wrong about playing like this. To put it simply, in most games, noobs are stupid. They die a bunch, have no idea of the basic concept of grammar conventions, and to be perfectly honest, most people who act like this are probably 10 years old. But this is Gmod. These people paid $10 to be here, and are at the very least on an 11-year-old gaming laptop. In Gmod's SCP-RP server Civil Networks, most of the stereotypical noobs come from the Department of General Security, or shortly, GenSec. The cadets in GenSec are the living, breathing, and a whole lot of times screaming definition of unpredictable. As a captain of GenSec, I would like to study their behavior. Why do they do this thing? Why do they yell at me? And why are they a more organized task force than most MTF when something bad happens? Let's put on the helmet, slide in the visor, and put away all empathy, and find out. To start, we would have to reuse the Joshua Graham name from our last video. If I went on Cadet as Hans, I would immediately get recognized by all of my avid supporters. No! Who we would be analyzing would be the common cadets, the ones who are only an hour or two onto the job, and basically have no idea what they're doing. The funny part is their commitment to ethics. Essentially, what we're going to be doing is going to test with them, and alter what should be happening to see what they will do. Our first target will be this man, Jack Kelly. Our first assignment will be recruiting him for the test. You're not the real Jack Kelly, get away, that's not the real Jack Kelly. You're not Jack Kelly, go away, go away. Wait, okay, that was the real Jack Kelly, just my schizophrenic GenSec ass thought he was IA because he was holding an IA gun. Before we took him for his first test, he needed to talk to an officer about seeing the same IA for something. Who's your commanding officer?
Some asshole. Hey, you wanted to see me?
Luckily, my quick convincing of, come on, let's go, is more important than both. Now to address the voice in my head.
The assistant's following us.
That's actually the D-Class. The kicker is, everyone in this test was an actor. The researcher, and the D-Class, and as well as I, are completely ready to fuck with this cadet's head. Our plan was to have the D-Class pick up some contraband from the, whole SCP from the last video. You're gonna shoot the researcher. Then I'm gonna yell, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine, and we'll see what he does. Wait, who the fuck is that, you may ask? I have no idea why a member of a task force alone is here while a code 4 is going on, the only thing that this guy should be attending to. This guy, conveniently, was not an actor and was just randomly in here. Not to stop us, we will continue. Look what you did! Look at what you did!
Get a gun for me.
There's a gun, there's a gun! Grab it, grab it, grab it!
Just got the gun out of the wall.
What gun are you talking about? Are you schizophrenic? Oh, that one, I grabbed that. He's fine, he's fine. It's fine, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. Don't shoot him, don't shoot him, don't shoot him. It's fine, it's fine, it's fine. We're good, we're good. Now that everyone in the room was dead or experiencing convulsions, he was reasonably very accusatory.
Who the fuck are you? No, who are you?
We need to go find medics, dude. These people are gonna die.
No, you're not a cadet. Who the fuck are you?
I'm a cadet, you can see my ID, it says cadet. I'm a cadet, I'm a real cadet. But once again, he gave up his argument with less than 2 sentences. The only guy with high enough clearance to get us out is dead, so we got the researcher to switch to medic to let us out, leaving the D-Class to die. Alone. Me and the medic would go to re-grab him from D-Block. Our next idea is to put the D-Class in the psychiatric cell to mess with Jack even more for our next test. But where was Mr. Kelly? I checked D-Block. No Kelly. I checked Medbay and saw that MTF again. No Kelly. I even recruited some officers who had also knew of my plan. They didn't find Kelly. I went up to security sector to check. Kelly. Kelly had switched to guard and was staring blankly at me. Everyone else in the room was also absent. I had to make a decision. Kelly knew. If we attempted this again, the troop would get out. He needed to be eliminated. Our next volunteer would be Joey Smalls. The gang was assembled, and we attempted our next test. Kill him. Hey, wait, don't kill him, don't kill him. Joey had a more intense reaction to Thornton shooting the researcher, and it acted quick. He seemed like a very loyal member to GenSec, and our tests were not really having that much of an impact on him. An interview was in order for a loyal cadet. Alright, Alright, first question. When did he join Gensec?
Basically like 2 days ago.
2 days. Do you like Gensec? Is this the only department you've been in?
My department I've been in. I enjoy it fairly.
Alright, next question. How would you rate the ethics of our department on a scale of 1 to 10? That's good. 7. Alright, that's good. I'd say that's good.
7.
And the results were in. His answers gave him solid, well, I wasn't really keeping track. Our last question, we would need to ask him in a private area. It would not put his loyalty into question. It would test it. Alright, last question. How would you rate your loyalty to Gensec? Kill that combat medic. Kill him now. Do it. Do it! Do it! Great work. Hop on, Chief. Gensec may not be very organized at all, but one thing they are is loyal. Loyal to the men they stand shoulder to shoulder with in battle. Well, we did get some insight on how to fuck with people who are new to the server, but not exactly the cripple harassing, schizophrenic Gensec that I know. To see more of that in the full premium Gensec experience, you'll need to join the server and see it for yourself. I've not seen Kelly on since the incident, but Joey still plays Gensec. For now. If you see him, say hi please. I've been Content Buffet. I killed a guy for no reason. Goodbye. Also, sorry for the low quality footage. OBS had a seizure after I forgot to press stop recording for 9 hours. Okay, bye.